Hey viewers, you're watching Das Avera and I'm Vidhi Joshi. US President Donald Trump announced the imposition of new tariffs on several European nations, accusing them of opposing his plan for a United States takeover of Greenland. Under the decision, a 10% tariff would be levied on goods imported into the US from Denmark, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden and Finland starting February 1, 2026. Donald Trump further warned that the tariff rate would be increased to 25% from June 1, 2026. And if no agreement is reached for what he described as the complete and total purchase of Greenland by the United States. In a lengthy post on his social media platform Truth Social, Donald Trump justified the move by claiming that the US has subsidized Denmark and other European nations for decades by not imposing tariffs. He argued that Greenland's strategic location and mineral wealth are vital to American national security and claimed that China and Russia are seeking to expand their influence in the Arctic region. Donald Trump stated that anything short of Greenland coming under US control would be unacceptable, asserting that Denmark lacks the capacity to defend the territory on its own and that world peace is at stake. The announcement came a day after Donald Trump publicly warned that nations opposing his Greenland ambitions could face trade penalties. The White House later clarified that recent European military deployments to Greenland would not affect the administration's position on acquiring the territory. French Armed Forces Minister Alice Ruffo said that the increased military presence demonstrated Europe's readiness to defend sovereignty, while Denmark confirmed that it was strengthening its presence in Greenland in cooperation with allies as part of a pre-planned exercise. European leaders responded sharply to Donald Trump's remarks, and Denmark's Foreign Minister Lars Løkke categorically rejected any possibility of a US acquisition, calling it a violation of international law and an infringement on sovereignty. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik said that if forced to choose, Greenland would stand with Denmark, NATO and the European Union, stressing that the territory is not for sale and that its future must be decided by its people. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen expressed full solidarity with Denmark and the people of Greenland, warning that the proposed tariffs would undermine transatlantic relations and risk triggering a dangerous downward spiral. In a statement posted on X, she emphasized the significance of dialogue and diplomacy among NATO allies and reiterated that territorial integrity and sovereignty are fundamental principles of international law. She also clarified that the deployment of European troops to Greenland poses no threat and is part of a coordinated Danish initiative. Amid rising tensions, the European Union called an emergency meeting in order to discuss the proposed tariffs and coordinate a response. Von der Leyen said that Europe would remain united and committed to upholding sovereignty and international law, particularly in the Arctic region, which she described as an area of shared transatlantic interest in peace and security. Well, the developments have also sparked public protest in Denmark as thousands of demonstrators marched through Copenhagen in support of Greenland's right to self-governance, carrying placards reading, "Greenland is not for sale, we shape our future and Greenland is already great." Protesters voiced strong opposition to what they described as US pressure and reaffirmed their support for Greenland's autonomy within the Kingdom of Denmark. Despite mounting criticism from European leaders and public protest, Donald Trump has remained firm, insisting that US control over Greenland is necessary to counter geopolitical threats and safeguard American interest. Denmark and Greenland, however, have continued to reject the proposal, maintaining that decisions about the territory's future rest solely with its people and elected leaders, not foreign powers. That's all for now. Stay tuned to The Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.